You've probably heard all the hype about biochar. It's the ultimate soil booster. Your plants will never need fertilizer again. But here's the problem most gardeners never realize. Modern biochar often underperforms, wastes money, and can even stress your soil if applied incorrectly. I've tested it in raised beds, backyard gardens and hydroponic setups, and the results were eye-opening. In fact, there's an ancient charcoal method, over 1,000 years old, that consistently outperforms commercial biochar, and it doesn't rely on fancy labels or over-processed products. Before we get into that, I want to mention a small tool that completely changed how I monitor soil health when experimenting with these techniques. A 4-in-1 soil moisture meter, digital plant temperature and soil moisture test, and pH meter, sunlight intensity meter. This little device might look simple, but it's a game changer. Charcoal alters moisture retention, pH, and root zone temperature in ways most gardeners don't anticipate. A bed that looks fine on the surface could actually be drying unevenly or holding water too long, suffocating roots and microbes. Using this meter, I can check soil conditions in real time and prevent mistakes before they harm plants. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Now, let's talk about the first misconception, assuming all charcoal is the same. Most commercial biochar is made at extremely high temperatures to sterilize it and make it shelf-stable. That process removes many of the subtle organic compounds and minerals that microbes feed on. When you add it straight to soil, it often behaves like a nutrient sponge, temporarily binding nitrogen and other essential elements instead of feeding your plants. I've watched tomato and pepper plants in raised beds struggle when too much unconditioned biochar was added. They look healthy at first, then start showing nitrogen deficiency symptoms a few weeks later. Now, let's contrast that with the ancient charcoal practices used by indigenous farmers in South America and Asia. You see, charcoal was never just tossed straight into the soil. Instead, they would slowly condition it with compost, manure, and water for months before actually using it. The result was a living amendment, charcoal that could retain nutrients, support microbial life, and improve water-holding capacity, all without starving the plants. So here's how I've adapted that method for modern gardening. I take hardwood scraps from pruning, fallen branches, or even the fire pit, and I slowly char them over a low fire. After that, I let the charcoal age with compost, manure, and water for several weeks. This step really saturates the pores with nutrients and inoculates them with beneficial microbes. It transforms the charcoal from just a sterile sponge into, well, a soil-building powerhouse. In my raised beds, I like to mix 1 part aged charcoal with 3 parts mature compost, then lightly incorporate it into the top 10 to 15 centimeters of soil. For containers, I use a slightly lighter ratio, about 1 part charcoal to 5 parts potting soil or compost, so the roots don't get overwhelmed. And in hydroponic media, I just add small amounts of washed charcoal to help stabilize pH and moisture, but never more than 10% of the total media. What makes this method superior to commercial biochar is, well, the long-term impact on soil biology. The aged charcoal acts kind of like a microbial sponge. Microbes colonize its pores, slowly releasing nutrients and improving soil structure over months, and, honestly, even years. Roots expand more aggressively, water is retained evenly, and plants become more resilient to drought, temperature swings, and pests. Commercial biochar, by contrast, can remain inert for months until microbes finally colonize it, if they ever do at all. Another common mistake gardeners make is assuming more charcoal equals better soil. Too much charcoal, especially when unconditioned, can tie up nutrients, raise soil pH excessively, and even dry out the root zone. That's where the soil meter comes in handy. I check moisture, temperature, and pH regularly to see how the charcoal affects soil dynamics. Without that feedback, even a well-intentioned gardener can unintentionally stress plants. In practice, this method works beautifully across all systems. In raised beds, the aged charcoal improves water infiltration and nutrient cycling in the top layers, giving roots consistent access to everything they need. In container gardens, it moderates moisture fluctuations and prevents nutrient burns that often happen in small soil volumes. And in hydroponic media, small amounts stabilize pH and moisture without creating anaerobic pockets. So here are a few practical tips I've learned along the way. First, never use charcoal from painted, treated, or chemically preserved wood. Always age and inoculate the charcoal before applying it, and make sure to mix it with compost or organic matter to prevent nutrient depletion. Also, it's important to monitor your soil consistently with the 4-in-1 soil meter, because even aged charcoal can change water dynamics and pH just a bit. Small miscalculations in ratio or preparation can really have a big impact. The beauty of this ancient technique is, honestly, compounding soil health. Unlike commercial biochar that's marketed as an instant fix, aged charcoal actually improves soil gradually, creating a stable, fertile, and resilient environment. Each season, microbial diversity increases, water retention gets better, and nutrient availability stabilizes. The benefits just keep adding up, giving your plants a stronger root foundation, more consistent fruiting, and improved resistance to disease and environmental stress. I know some gardeners resist this method because, well, it's slower and definitely less convenient than just buying a bag of biochar, but in my experience, the time investment pays off many times over. You don't just get a temporary boost, you're building a living soil ecosystem that will keep giving back for years to come. Now, here's the final secret that, honestly, often gets overlooked. Charcoal works best as part of a complete soil system. It's not, a magic bullet. You really need to combine it with regular compost, organic mulches, and proper irrigation. Take the time to observe how your plants respond, check soil conditions with your meter, and adjust accordingly. Honestly, that's what separates a serious gardener from someone just following trends blindly. If you're serious about soil health and want real measurable improvements in your garden, this 1,000-year-old charcoal technique is something you can start applying today. Paired with a 4-in-1 soil meter, you'll know exactly how your soil is responding and avoid costly mistakes. So before you buy another bag of commercial biochar, consider going back to the ancient method: small batch hardwood charcoal, slow aging, inoculation with compost, and careful integration into soil. It's cost-effective, regenerative, and consistently outperforms modern biochar in my trials across raised beds, containers, and hydroponic systems. Serious gardening isn't about hype. It's about understanding soil biology, observing how plants respond, and making informed decisions that support long-term fertility. By combining ancient wisdom with modern monitoring tools, you get stronger roots, healthier plants, and bigger, more consistent harvests without wasting money on overhyped products. If you want more practical strategies for soil health, regenerative gardening, and proven techniques that actually work, subscribe to Farm Logic. Share this video with a gardener who wants living soil, not quick fixes, and start applying techniques that improve your garden year after year. Your soil, your plants, and your harvest will thank you.